Knees buckling, in deep trouble, then I breathe. Take a step instead of running for deep cover. And it's me against the world, but I'm loving the odds now. I hear the storm instead of waiting till it calms down. Fully aware of my surroundings now, and I am fully prepared to go pound for pound against anything or anyone who tries to oppose me.
Uncharted 3 basically feels like a grand adventure instead of kind of this one long adventure that Uncharted 1 and 2 gave off. Whereas Uncharted 1 felt homage to like Indiana Jones, Uncharted 2 felt like an action-packed movie with plenty of oh my god moments. Uncharted 3 feels like it travels the world, and in some ways it actually does. Nate is once again on an adventure to find a missing city, one that Drake seemed to have found, but covered up quite well. Throughout the story, you feel as this might be Nate's most personal journey so far.
Nate, these guys are playing for keeps.
Yeah, so? What, you're just gonna roll over for them now?
Nobody's talking about rolling over.
Then quit acting like you're ready to lay down and die, alright?
Well, there's a few twists. The story is relatively straightforward. Find a treasure while the main evil bitch, Marlo I think her name is right behind you and trying to uncover the secrets and beat you to the actual city. With some of the best, if not the best, voice acting, the game truly gives you the feeling of watching a goddamn movie. From the snappy writing to the touching moments, Uncharted will cover it all. We even got a bit of a backstory, and that adds even more to character development. We have a few of our series favorites return in this game, like Chloe and Elena, and even some new characters added in. Naughty Dog seems to have a tendency of creating excellent characters, and it's no different here. I don't normally talk about the music, but it adds to the overall story and a lot of the action pieces, so I had to mention that the music is excellent. Overall, the story itself is interesting enough to want to see what happens next. However, it's the great writing and the characters interacting with each other that make the story that much more enjoyable. Uncharted started off with a bang, and as the credits began to roll and I hear the last few lines from our heroes, I get flashbacks of all those amazing moments in the series, and all I can do is just smile.
We've been trying to reach you for over 24 hours.
Oh, right, I need to top up my minutes.
You're using a prepaid phone?
Mate, those contracts are a complete rip-off.
What? Mine's broken.
Again?
Look,
The graphics are easily the best on the PS3. The animations are beautiful. Each and every time Drake goes for one of those big jumps or an earthquake happens and he stumbles, it is truly amazing to look at. The best part though is the environments. In the words of the gangsters out there, son, this shit is fresh. It looks so detailed, so colorful, it makes me want to travel every single land that you see in the game, in which cases you basically do. The designs are awesome, and any fan of treasures and all that fancy looking old stuff will love the art direction in this game. It was great in Uncharted 1, but Uncharted 2 and 3 make it look phenomenal, and even for people like me who don't really care about treasures and everything, every time I see it, it's amazing. Sometimes you would stop and just take a look around. On top of that, the cutscenes are rendered in a way that are realistic, but still give off that kind of cartoony feel. A perfect mix that is just a joy to watch.
careful with your head, you know it.
Good evening, lads.
All right, darling.
Set pieces will be talked about more in the gameplay section, but the way they are set up in this game is kick-ass. Not only are there more of them, but the amount of fucking detail put into them is fucking amazing. Yes, I had to use the word fucking twice in a row just to emphasize how awesome these scenes are. The scope of some of them, whole planes, ships, and towers all collapsing and breaking is stunning. Not many games can claim to have these over-the-top amazing scenes, but Uncharted does it with ease. Uncharted 3 really doesn't try to reinvent the wheel. It tries to take what worked in 2 and basically times it by 2. Well, it accomplishes that. It really shines in the amount of detail that's gone into splitting up the game so well. Before we get to that, let's talk about the problems that some people seem to be having with this game that I simply just don't share at all. One problem I've been hearing about is the gunplay seems different in this title and kind of more stiff. I never felt that, though the multiplayer is definitely more loose, But I always felt that because humans, move 10 times faster than the AI, you have to feel like you're moving much looser in the multiplayer. Whereas the campaign, it works wonderful and kind of gives this own weight to Drake. So the shooting feels fine in my honest opinion, and I'm a little lost on the complaints I've seen or been hearing. Another thing is the direction on some of the jumping. I will confess, I will feel that some parts of the jumping feel a bit off due to where the fuck to jump next. It interfered a couple of times throughout the campaign, but I have to say it's a couple of times compared to the 9-hour campaign you're going to have. Not to mention checkpoints are so close that if you fail, you're right back to where you started. Now, on the good, Uncharted 3's gameplay stays the same. It's a third-person cover gameplay, but unlike something like Gears of War, you'll want to climb buildings, rocks, trucks, or whatever is around and shoot from there. You'll want to sneak around the bad guy and stealth kill them, or you want to maybe throw a grenade into their face, or in Uncharted 3, when they throw a grenade, throw it back in their face. While the gunplay doesn't try anything brand new in the sense of making it unique from Uncharted 1 and 2, Uncharted already felt different than most other third-person shooters. It's quicker, it's faster, and it's more agile. Uncharted's gunplay is fun as hell, and I find it hard to believe anyone could actually argue that.
Right! It's all clear! Come on! Come on, Nate! Come on!
Now, while the gunplay is a blast to play in Uncharted, I always had a problem with the series keeping a balance. In Uncharted 1, you had more platforming than gunplay or puzzles. Uncharted 2, you had very little puzzles, but tons of gunplay and a decent amount of platforming. Uncharted 3 has the perfect balance of gunplay, puzzles, and platforming throughout most of the campaign. It gets a little too much gunplay happy at the end of the game, but before that, the balance is perfect. The puzzles are both challenging and fun, and add a nice break in between all the exploring and shooting. None really made me think over a couple of minutes, but all of them made me feel like I accomplished something once I finished, and that's important for a game throwing a challenge at you. Now, the platforming is back, and for the most part, it's better than ever. It remains pretty simple. You're going to be clicking the X button mostly, and also, moving a directional pad. It's not truly, oh my god, revolutionary, but it works really well in Uncharted, and it makes you feel like a treasure hunter. Now, what really sets Uncharted 3 apart from all those other games out there is the over-the-top set pieces. Other games have done well before, like Gears of War 3 and Vanquish. However, Uncharted still feels more realistic than those two, so when you fly through a window, watch a plane crash, or whole ships flip on its side, it gives you that oh my fucking god feeling that almost no other game can actually match. And when you're inside a tank and the water is filling up and you're running, your heart will be racing with Drake's and you will smile knowing this is why you play Uncharted. Uncharted is almost unmatched in set pieces, and I love to see a game actually challenge them.
Son of a bitch!
Multiplayer is another option that really helps the game in the long run. While the campaign is beefy, the multiplayer will make you come back and stay. It's fun, it's fast, and most of all, there's tons of shit to unlock. You have clothing, guns, perks, boosters, and so on that really help you make come back to the multiplayer. It's simple enough that anyone could probably pick it up, but to truly master the online and become good at it, it will take your time. What sets Uncharted apart from all these other shooters is the climbing, and that will basically change your strategy every time you go on a new map. There's also co-op if versus isn't enough for you, and you can play with 2 other friends and tackle missions that are somewhat from the campaign. So even that is a nice bonus after you beat the campaign. Now, I do love both of these modes, and they definitely add to the longevity of the game. What really is phenomenal is that sexy ass campaign.
Oh, God, they're coming through the ceiling!
Now, it's pretty obvious that if you're a fan of me for a while or you're just watching this review, that I love the Uncharted series. It sets the bar high, and it really never fails to live up to the excellent production that it has. Wonderful cast of characters, excellent set pieces, breathtaking visuals, and great gameplay. Uncharted masters a gaming experience. Now, sure, there's some parts of the game that make me get pissed or annoyed. The gunplay may not work for everyone. The last 2 hours of the game throw far too many enemies at you, and for no damn reason. Hell, the sensitivity sometimes on Drake is a bit too much, and you fall off ledges by mistake. Hell, sometimes you'll even get a glitch once, like every 3 hours. Now, it sounds like these are good enough reasons to give the game a 9.10.
They run inside!
But then I see scenes like that, and I remember amazing chase scenes and shit blowing up, and even scenes that are so wonderfully done just due to the voice acting department. It's almost a sad scene, but it's just so well done that it doesn't feel sappy or anything, and you actually feel for these characters.
I'm sorry.
I know.
I feel for a video game character, and that is something that a lot of these games don't do. I love the adventure of Nate, and I love Uncharted 3, and I believe it not only lives up to the hype, but as a series, Naughty Dog should be fucking proud. They made 2, not 1, 2, 10 out of motherfucking 10 titles on one goddamn console, on one gen. Now, I'm sure someone out there will be like, Whitey, you cray-cray. Well, all I gotta say to that is this. The campaign is a goddamn masterpiece. The multiplayer is the best on the PS3, and the co-op is fun as hell. So while you tell me that my 10 out of 10 isn't justified and write a long ass comment saying why your favorite game of the year is better, I'll be sitting down with a beer talking to my friend Rob while we kill some motherfuckers online. Uncharted 3, just like Uncharted 2, is a phenomenal game that is worth every goddamn penny and deserves a 10 out of motherfucking 10.
Get it off! Take it off!
All right, you're clear.
Huh? Yeah.
How about me?
Turn around. Are you good?
Damn boy, and I said damn boy, and I said damn boy, and I said damn boy.